Hey, good evening, everybody. How you all doing? Y'all know who this is. This that boy that y'all love to hear, and a lot of y'all love to hate. But this your boy Rod Thomas Jr., and this is the real news behind the news. Yeah, man. Today is Friday, May 27th, 2022, and I'm gonna let the camera roll for a little bit, and we're gonna try to let as many of you all come in who might be on YouTube right now on a Friday night, Memorial Day weekend, ain't got nothing else to do like my old ass. But we want you all to join in, man. And as you all join in, please let me know where you're joining in from. Let me know any questions, or just leave a comment. Anything that you might want to hear me talk about, hey, that's what tonight's video is for. Anything that you all want to talk about, please let me know. Leave a comment. Really, you all's comments are the most important part of the broadcast that I do. Even though I haven't done one in a while, and the last one that I did, I had to take it down because I was afraid that YouTube was gonna basically suspend this channel. But guess what? I'll wait 10, 15 minutes. Nobody comes in, then I'll just end the video. It's not the subscriber's fault to this channel. It's my fault because it's been so much going on in the world, man, that it is crazy. And the more I stay away from doing videos on social media, trying to get people to look at different alternative points of views and different angles as to what we're being told. Hey, Zach Owens, good evening, my brother. How you doing? I'm glad you're here. Um, Flat Earth. You believe this? Oh, they say flat Earth. Anyway, if you believe the Earth is flat, I got some of the nuclear weapons that they say Saddam Hussein had that I would love to see. As you all come in, please let me know where you what city, state, whatever country you're from, because I know we have a lot of people from other countries that watch this channel, and I know y'all we get frustrated because I don't do the videos as regularly as I should or could. But y'all have to realize, man, I be having day-to-day life going on, and I'm not at a point where YouTube is allowing me to be monetized or anything like that. So I have to get out here and get it. But at the same time, I do have a desire to keep you all informed on the latest information that's available that correlates to your day-to-day life, whether it be local here in Shreveport, whether it be state of Louisiana or any other state that you're in America, whether it be America national news, but most likely I'm always giving you all international news because I keep telling you all that if you all don't understand what they are doing internationally on a global level, you're going to be lost in these last days. You're going to be lost because the policies that they enact and implement on an international level are eventually trickled down and brought here to us in America on a state and local level. Zach Owens said the Democrats are doomed. No stimulus checks and struggling Americans. This government is a joke. Zach, you don't know why the Democrats really are doomed? Because they have no platform. They have no argument. All the Democrats really is hoping for right now that Americans will get so mad about the possible overturning of Roe versus Wade, the fact that we don't have baby formula here in America, but we just sent 40 billion, and that's Republicans and Democrats. But the Democrats are hoping for another mass shooting or two, so that they can use the fringe issues to run on in the upcoming election. The Democrats are through. I'm gonna be real. Really, if we don't have a third party here in America, if you whether you vote Democrat or Republican, you're voting for the corporations. We must understand that the Democrats do not run the country. The Republicans do not run the country. Your president, excuse me, your president is nothing more than a figurehead, a CEO of a corporation that is called the United States of America, meaning that what we're living here in America is a fascist dictatorship, meaning that our government works for the corporations. When you go back and look at just say COVID, for example. When you go back and look at your politician, whatever state you in, look at where they're getting their money from, their campaign donations. 9 out of 10 times you're going to find out that all your politicians take money from the military industrial complex, the pharmaceutical industrial complex, the prison industrial complex, the banking system. Our government is not set up for the people to win. Our government is set up for the corporations to dictate how we as citizens go about our day-to-day lives. Y'all want to know the greatest example of that? Just look at Boeing, Raytheon, Philip Nordstrom. When you go back and look at how much money our government has given away to the Ukraine in just the last year to further facilitate and perpetuate a war with Russia, you'd be surprised. We sent enough money to the Ukraine just in and it's $40 billion. That y'all give me a second. Y'all give me a second. Trying to make sure that this phone don't die out on me. Let me go back. Your government. Okay, hopefully we got it now. Your government cares nothing about us as American citizens. Your government is controlled by the corporations to the point they facilitated a pandemic on behalf of the pharmaceutical companies, where Pfizer, Moderna, and all these people, all these corporations that had so-called vaccines. Do y'all realize these folks was making them to $30,000 a minute during the height of the pandemic? We was locked down, but your government officials, look at Nancy Pelosi and all these other people who were out there going to beauty salons during the middle of the pandemic when everybody else supposed to be locked down. They're now forcing you to take an experimental vaccine, put in your body. We don't know what the final results are going to be of all these people that took these vaccines, because that was an experimental vaccine. It was not really even a vaccine, because hell, it comes to find out, even the FDA and everybody had to tell you that the vaccine barely lasted 2 weeks. But they tried to force you to get 3 shots. Now they're forcing your children. And that's something we want to talk about. I want to jump on and talk about this subject here. Until you all come in. When you come in again, please leave your comments. Hit the like button, share button. Those are the most 2 important things that you can do to support this show. But also, if you got an extra $5, $10 in your Cash App or PayPal or whatever, donate financially to the show. Because I'm going to be real. A lot of reasons why I don't be doing a lot of these shows, because nobody helps pay for the Wi-Fi. Little stuff like that matters, man. If you really like what I do, support the channel financially. But anyway, let me see what Zach Owens saying. Hate or love Trump. If he get in November, Christmas, Trump was a wild card. You got to realize Donald Trump was not a part of the system, and he found that out real fast. Yeah, I want y'all to go and check out this new movie. It's called 2000 Mules. When I tell you all that election was stolen from Donald Trump, yes, it was. The Democrats right now are trying to steal the midterm elections because, again, they do not have a platform to run off. They have no real platform for change. especially for black people. But guess what? They automatically take it for granted that us as black people gonna vote for them when they already got them some new niggas. The Democrats don't need black people no more. They got new niggas, the Ukrainians that they bringing over here, the people from Afghanistan. Do y'all realize when we withdrew from Afghanistan earlier this year, we probably left about 5, 10, 15, 20,000 Americans behind. But the airplanes bringing Afghanistan refugees to your neighborhoods are constantly flowing. They're bringing the Ukrainians and the Afghanistan people here, but guess what? They're turning the people of Haiti away at the borders. If you come here from Haiti, if you come here from a country that's a black country, and not trying to be racist or whatever, but I'm just keeping it real, they turning you away, but they allow them refugees from Afghanistan and the Ukraine to come here. Notice this: the places where we create the most death, destruction, and chaos through war, we allow those immigrants to come to this country with, wholesale. Without even having to go through a designated, a legitimate point of entry in America. All they gotta do is show up at the airport, and they gonna get fast tracked. When you see those cages, those little kids and stuff in the cages, guess what? That just went under Donald Trump. They still got little kids in cages right now. Because let me show y'all some game about that. When they were showing y'all all these kids in cages, talking about Donald Trump was being inhumane with his immigration policy, it was Barack Obama and Joe Biden who started that with those kids in the cages. But guess why those kids are in the cages and why they allow so many people to come in illegally and put them in these detention centers? Because your prison industrial complex gets paid way more every day for one of these illegal immigrants being held in one of their facilities than they do you and I, who caught a felony and waiting on state or federal charges to be levied against us. Real news behind the news. So no matter who gets in office, even if Trump, who was a wild card, and I'm gonna be real, I'm not a Donald Trump fan. I didn't vote for him or whatever, but you gotta admit, Donald Trump thought he could do better than the rest of them, but got in office and find out that he can't run jack because, again, your military industrial complex runs everything. Remember how Donald Trump, I get one thing I give Donald Trump the credit for, and it's gonna blow y'all mind. And I know a lot of y'all ain't gonna like this because a lot of us have been programmed not to like Donald Trump. But guess what? It's coming out that Hillary Clinton, them, all this Russiagate shit you've been hearing for the last 5, 6 years was a lie. It was Hillary Clinton who basically formulated this whole theory or conspiracy. And now it's coming out that even her campaign, the guy that she got to do the so-called investigation into Trump and his ties with Russia, lied to the FBI in order to get that warrant, that FISA warrant, so they can investigate Donald Trump for Russian collusion. But do y'all remember when Hillary Clinton sold 3/4 of the United States uranium to Russia? Hillary needs to be in jail. Pretty much all your Democrats and Republicans, they don't care nothing about us. You think you got a two-party system, but you really got one party. That's the Republicans, Democrats and Republicans, who are working for the corporations. The corporations just took $40 billion of your tax money. When I say corporations in this instance, I'm talking about the military industrial complex, who are going to make more bombs to send to the Ukraine. Russia's going to blow half of them up. 3/4 of them are not going to work, as opposed to sending peacekeepers or people to sending diplomats to the Ukraine. Because this situation in the Ukraine is not going to end militarily. It has to end in a diplomatic situation, because Russia, no matter what y'all believe when you watch that crap on TV, Russia has achieved pretty much 85% of their goals. Russia's goal was not to take over the Ukraine. Russia's goal was to free the Donbass area. The only thing that they didn't do was denazify the Ukraine. And you want to know how again, international stuff affects you here in America, talking about the Ukraine? That little boy who shot up that grocery store up there in Buffalo, New York, where did he get his ideology from? Of course, the seeds of racism was sown into him here in America. But do y'all realize the fastest growing group of, I guess you could say, fringe group in the world is the Ukrainian neo-Nazi group? That little boy, little white boy here in America, who shot that grocery store up there in Buffalo, New York. He studied the Ukrainian neo-Nazis, in particular, the Azov Battalion. So again, you got to understand what's going on around the world to understand what's going on in your neighborhood. Now, we can talk about that tragic situation in Texas, where your Democrats are using, did y'all see that fuck shit Beto O'Rourke did? When he went up there and tried to get some publicity when they was holding the press conference talking about the tragic shooting of all those children, and what the name, I can't pronounce it, Vendel, whatever, down in Texas. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Guess what? Your Democrats are going to try to use that, plus the shooting up in New York, as ammunition for this upcoming election. But guess what? There's been over 220 mass shootings in America just this year alone. Why are they focusing on these two? Why are these the only two that we're seeing in the news? It's about gun control. But let me show you the hypocrisy of both Republicans and Democrats. How the hell are you going to talk about gun control here in America when your government just sent $40 billion worth of guns? Of that 40 billion, they say really only 17 to 20 billion of that is going for actual weapons to send to Ukraine. But guess what? $20 billion can end homelessness in $20 billion can forgive a lot of student loan debt in America right now. But they just sent $40 billion of your tax money trying to destroy the military industrial complex. And when I say that, the people who make guns, ain't none of them talking about shit, jack shit. None of that shit they talk about make no difference. Because you got more guns in this country than you do people. For every person, almost two. You got 1.5 times more guns in America than you do people. One of a gun. I don't want to seem insensitive, but when you see these school shootings, these mass shootings, all the violence in America, do y'all realize spiritually America is suffering from the action? Two of the greatest Holocausts. When you hear the word Holocaust, all y'all think about, all most people think about is the Jews, them poor Jews. Guess what? There's about 6 million, if that, Jews died up under Hitler. That's the Holocaust of the Native American Indians and the black people who came across here during the transatlantic slave trade. Those two Holocausts there was the greatest Holocausts in world history, human history. You had tens of millions of black people who did not even make the voyage from Africa to America because they died on that 2-3 months journey coming from Africa in the middle of the ocean. Let me show y'all some shit that will put this in perspective. They like to tell us that the Jewish Holocaust was the most tragic event in human history. Bullshit. Do y'all realize that during the transatlantic slave trade, in order for them to get 300 slaves here per ship, per load, they had to put almost 600 to 700 slaves, Africans, I ain't gonna call them slaves, they was Africans, who were kidnapped or sold into slavery. They had to put 700 people on that ship because they knew at least half of them were going to die. It was so brutal. Let me read you all comment for a second. Zach Gordon said, if us black folks wake up and realize them other folks need us worldwide and we stop killing each other, we can come out on top. No, black people in America will never come out on top. First and foremost, because of religion. We can't even, as black people, we can't even figure out who the true God is. You got a bunch of Negroes that be up there at the corner store. Now, the Israelite Negroes is worse than these motherfucking white supremacists. Because they don't like white or black people who don't believe that they say, when they say they the original Hebrew. Who really gives a fuck if you're the really original Hebrew? You got Muslims, Christians, all these different factions. We're fighting just on different religion. We can't even decide who the true God is as black people. We are Republicans. We can't decide whether we like Crips or Bloods. We can't decide whether gender or anti-life, meaning abortion, LGBTQ. We got so much shit facing us in the black community that we can't come together because we can't decide who's the best football team, Dallas Cowboys or New Orleans Saints. We are so divided as black people. I don't see us ever coming out of this shit, bruh. Not as black people in America. We're not gonna ever come out of it because we have been systematically indoctrinated to hate each other on every level. When Willie Lynch said, you got to get these Negroes fighting on every level to the point where you get the old black man fighting against the young black man, the young black woman fighting against the old black woman, the black woman fighting against the black male, the light-skinned black fighting against the dark-skinned black, the dark-skinned black fighting against. He said, we got to get these Negroes fighting each other on every level. It's so much that the only people that they would trust to help them with their problems is us. Here we are as black people, running around here talking about the police killing us. Hands up, don't shoot. But as soon as somebody gets shot in your neighborhood, as soon as your kid gets shot, who the first person you call? The police. Here in Freeport, we're sitting around here looking at just today, we had a double shooting right after the graduation of one of the most historical high schools in this city, Booker T. Washington High School. Traditionally, all black high school, been here for over 60-some years. And Negroes, I ain't gonna say Negroes, niggas, because there's a difference between Negroes and niggas. Negroes are the people that you see at 12 o'clock in the morning coming from work. They need to stop at the ATM, get whatever. Niggas are the ones who watching those folk Negroes at the ATM at 12 o'clock in the morning so they can rob them. If y'all don't think there's a difference between niggas and Negroes, just let one of these niggas rob you at the ATM. I bet you spent the last 20 years of your life saying the N-word. I'm not going to say the other word because the N-word. First of all, if you say the N-word, don't you still mean nigga? If you say, I'm not going to call him nigga, I'm going to just say the N-word, you still calling him a nigga. But who would you rather see at 12 o'clock in the morning at an ATM? A black man reaching in his pocket to pull out his debit card or ATM card or credit card to get some money out that ATM, or a nigga with a pistol ready to rob you? It's not going to happen for black people because we as black people have been too indoctrinated, again, to the point we are praying to a God who brought us over here through the white folks and told us, slaves, obey your masters. Can I keep this shit real? We worshiping a God that the slave masters had a Bible in his hand and a bullwhip in his hand saying that Jesus loved you. And if you don't believe that, I'm going to beat the shit out of you while you working in this hot ass field. If Jesus loved us so much, why did we have to turn the other cheek when master whooped us mercilessly, raped our women, sold our children? I mean, literally ripped our children from their mothers, all under the premises that God ordained this. You all are cursed. You all are meant to be slaves. Turn the other cheek if master hits you. Slaves, obey your masters. So now, this shit ain't finna never get better for black folk. We as black folk telling Jesus, take the wheel, please, Jesus, come and take the wheel. Guess what? Jesus never owned a donkey. Jesus never had a driver's license. So you're letting somebody who went back to heaven 2,000 years ago drive a car down here on earth by remote control. And then we wonder why we running into these trees, meaning crooked ass cops that's killing us, other Negroes that's killing us, an abortion system that's killing us. Do y'all realize that we've been here for 400 years as black people? 400 years we've been here. And we are the lowest minority, pretty much the lowest minority in this country. We've been here 400 years and we still only 12% of the population. You know why? Because of these anti-life agendas. Black on black crime leads to people dying who cannot procreate with other individuals in our community and reproduce our numbers. The LGBTQRS, LMNOP, NWA, SWV, LSG community, that is the worst shit that ever happened to us. Because guess what? If you're a boy who likes another boy, guess what? You can't produce a child. We have been here 400 years. Since Roe versus Wade, 50 years ago, Roe versus Wade took place. What they announced it in 73, so 83, 93, 2003, 2013. 50 years. We have murdered 800,000 black babies every year. Do y'all realize if those babies would have been allowed to be brought into existence, instead of being 30 million black people in America, we'd be almost 80 million. We would be at least 40% of the population when they send us to prison in the prison industrial complex. 2 men cannot make a baby. 2 women cannot make a baby. We have been so effectively indoctrinated that, again, we asking the same people, the police, to help us stop all the killing in our neighborhoods And when these coward ass antidepressant taking police come in our neighborhoods, guess what they do? They kill one or two of us for fun. They get away with it though. Police get away with killing a Negro. You kill a Negro, you finna do life. So now I don't see us as black people ever coming out of this shit unless we wake up and realize that I gotta say this right because I don't need nobody trying to come with no more death threats. I ain't having too many death threats. But Muhammad, Jesus, and 7 more niggas look just like them is not coming to help us as black people in America. The only prayer that seems like Jesus here is when a nigga asking for a new house or a new car. How many prayer rallies we've had here in Shreveport behind all this killing over the last 3 years up on Facebook? Thank you, Jesus, for blessing me with this new house. So wait a minute, you mean to tell me that the God of your Bible, who tells you not to get in debt, just blessed you with a $300-something house? Did you pay cash for that house? If you didn't pay cash for it, you in debt for the next 20 years. But Jesus answered that prayer for you. But your nephew got shot in the head after the graduation. And we asked him, please, Jesus, help us with our babies. Our babies are being killed. He like, man, you think Jesus up there in heaven with streets made of gold and gates that got pearls on. Do you think he give a damn about niggas in Shreveport? If I was Jesus, I would not come from heaven up there with them pearly gates and the streets made of gold down to Shreveport and take a chance on one of them niggas shooting me or robbing me. So now, it's not going to get no better for black people until we realize that everything that we can take sides on, from politics to religion down to your gang banging, even if when you watch wrestling, everybody in the red corner is supposed to be bad, but everybody in the blue corner. Y'all ever notice that everything that they divide us off of in America is either red or blue? Your Democrats, blue. Republicans, red. In boxing, in the red corner, in the blue corner. Crips or Bloods, in the red corner, the blue corner. Everything that we do is divided amongst a tribalistic mentality. So not only do we as black people got to try to fight for our right to be literally considered as fully human, because right now they still don't consider us fully human in America. My boy Curtis Davis, the one that sponsored the radio show, that's one of the founders of the radio show that I'm on every week here in Shreveport. And if you're in Shreveport here every Thursday at 2:00 p.m., you can catch us on KOKA. That's 980 AM, 93.3 FM. You can catch us live. We only got 30 minutes. Let me see. Audio and video quality is bad. Can you, sir, have it audio only? Hamid, I apologize for that. Is on a lot of the subscribers to this channel, because when I did have the equipment, I had on Facebook, a lot of people donated. I was able to get a tablet and even a microphone and things like that, but couldn't get enough people to support us with the Wi-Fi. Now the problem ain't the audio and video. The problem is I don't have the Wi-Fi band that I need to do this video. But guess what? I'm doing it anyway. So yeah, I apologize for the quality of this video. But hey, it is what it is. Would y'all rather me not do a video just because I knew the quality was going to be bad, or do a video where I knew the quality was going to be bad, but I can take you all's comments and answer some of you all's questions? Because that's what I do this channel for, man. I don't do this channel to try to get no money because I'm less. 5 years ago when I started this shit. Keep in mind, a lot of people have blessed this channel, but nobody supports this channel. So I'm not going to go out of my pocket and miss a day's meal to pay for an upgrade for audio for this video when nobody wants to help support. These same folks that won't support, go to Spotify or whatever and download streaming content from their favorite rapper, their other favorite so-called news for free, and nobody supports me. So yeah, if the audio and video quality is bad, guess what? Hey, it is what it is, man. You know, because I be goddamn if I go another day hungry, trying to pay for 2 more gigabytes of Wi-Fi to do a video that nobody shares, nobody really wants to hit the likes, and especially nobody helps support. So again, that's neither here nor there. It's not you all's fault, but I'm going to keep reminding the subscribers of this channel, I need you all's help, man. Like the other night, I needed 8 people to donate just $5 to pay for a hotel room that night so I have a place to sleep. Seen almost 120 some people watch that video before I took it offline because I didn't want them to just take this channel off. 120 some people watched it. I can get 8 of them to donate $5. So yeah, until I can get back up on my feet, hopefully in the next 3-4 months, y'all might have to get used to these videos having poor audio and video quality, unless somebody see that stuff that's going on at the bottom, unless somebody want to donate. Again, right now, we motherfuckers on YouTube saying I need $5,000 in less than 2 hours. They do a 2-hour video and they get it. I'm saying right now, I need $25 to put this change in my pocket to go get me a place to lay my head tonight. Nobody helps. But then everybody's like, when are you going to do another video? Or when I can actually have a place stable. It's not y'all fault that shit I'm homeless. But if y'all like what I do, support me so that I can continue to do it. I can't keep doing this shit out of my pocket. But anyway, let's get back with it. Blue Benji, Kobe would have made it out of the struggle. Why didn't he make it out? Oh, you talking about that rapper here in Freeport? Guess why he didn't make it out of the struggle? Because of that rap beef shit. Do y'all realize? Let me go back and give y'all a game. We as black people in America, and y'all got to understand this, are the only group of people on the planet who have no culture. We have no idea from our ancestors when they were brought here as slaves. But you also got to realize, when they show y'all these red Indians on TV and all that shit, that's a minority. The majority of the Indians that were already here were black people. You had more black people that became enslaved who were already here than they brought from over there. Indians, those folks were black people. Black people had colonized the world way before anybody else. But during the slave trade, the first thing they did when they brought those Africans here, they got them off that ship, got them off the auction blocks where we were standing next to pigs, chickens, cows, and horses, because we was considered no better than cattle. At the time when they wrote, they say, I'm next to chickens, horses, cows, and pigs. And the first thing they did, the first day of slavery, was took away your God. They took away your language. They took away your great-grandmother's recipes. They took away your fables. They took away your bedtime story. They took everything away from those Africans that would give them an identity. They stripped them of their identity, most importantly, their culture, because culture is, by definition, is the accumulation of a group's history, whether it be for your recipes, your folk tales, your bedtime stories, uh, everything that you would have to identify you with as a specific group of people. They took that away from us. Notice every other race that comes here right now, legally or illegally, they still got their culture intact. For the last 400 years, we have not had a culture. And now here we are in the age of social media. How come they have blocked me from telling y'all the truth about some shit? But they, in a lot of cases, allow mass shootings to be broadcast on Facebook, Instagram, and all these others. How come they will let a fight video get 200,000 views in the first hour, but a Negro that's telling you all that if you don't understand what they're doing to the Palestinians, you won't understand why black people are being murdered by the police here. They won't allow this here message that I'm giving to you all to be brought forth front and center mainstream. Now they'll let some of these Negroes who are always preaching this pro-black power shit, this Pan-Africanism shit. Let me ask y'all a question. For you pro-black and Pan-African Negroes who are always talking about the greatness of our history. True enough, you got to understand history to understand where you at today and where you want to go. But what good does it do our children today to know that the Egyptians, who were supposed to be our people, created mathematics when your motherfucking kids today can't even do their 5 timetable at 9 years old? What good does it do us to keep telling our kids our ancient ancestors, the Egyptians, built the pyramids when your motherfucking child can't even understand fractions today to put a motherfucking straight line together so he can try to run a 40-yard dash? Do y'all understand where I'm going with this? Understanding the past is so important to understand your present and your future. But it ain't doing us no good to tell us, our kids today, that our ancestors was queens and kings in Africa. But right now here in America, all they see is dope addicts, dope dealers, prostitutes. They not seeing no kings and queens here in America. Oh yeah, I take it back. They looking at your entertainers and your athletes who get so high up, they can create a show called Basketball Wives. Housewives of Atlanta, Bel Air, P Valley, Power. But do you realize all these shows that they're giving you is replacing our original culture of a peaceful people with that of dope dealing, homosexuality, and violence? We're the only people that don't have a culture. We are being given a culture to the point a lot of you grown men that's watching this right now, I'm going to be real, probably can't tell me if you got children in grade school, junior high, high school. A lot of you grown ass men right now couldn't tell me who your sons or daughters' homeroom teacher is, but you can tell me what size shoe LeBron James wear. You are being given a culture. We love to watch P Valley, especially these so-called reality shows, Housewife of Atlanta, Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop. Guess what? As black people, the only motherfucking reality shows that we can really identify with is Cops and the First 48. Because that's all we see in our neighborhood is killing. So, truth is what it is. I don't get off into this religion or politics shit because it is meant to keep us divided. If we arguing over who the son of God is, how can we go down to the city council and fight the police who killed your child, who was a child of God? How can we come together and police our own neighborhoods when them Muslims supposed to be out here this week. We having our rally. I don't want to be with them Muslims because they like Muhammad and all that. I don't want to be with them Hebrews. We can't even come together on simple shit. What's going on, brother Anthony? What's happening? Uh, Hold on. It's some nigga just made a comment say I rape little girls and little boys. You look, man, look. I don't believe in censorship, but I'm not only finna report your funk ass. I'm finna block you from the channel. Just look at this nigga's name. I'm gonna set this shit up here. This motherfucker come up here. I'm back. Anybody watching? Can y'all hear me? Because I'm hearing people saying that there's no sound. I'll tell you what. This is what I'll do. Fuck it. Well, it just started back over. Oh man, that piece of shit ass nigga, that fucking pissed me the fuck off. Just talking about I rape load. You sick motherfucker. Cool. Okay, y'all. I apologize for that untimely interruption. But I gotta go back and address this. Um, Let me see. I see this fuck ass piece of shit erase his comments. Not only was I going to erase his comments, but did y'all see that in the comment section? You had somebody come up here talking about I rape little boys and little girls. Look, man, don't play with me on this channel like that, especially if you're from Shreveport, because I'm gonna do my research, and if I find you, you're gonna have a problem. Because in my opinion, I'm gonna be real. The lowest people on the earth is anybody who messes with kids or elderly. Did y'all see that though? This motherfucker came up here. Can y'all hear me? Those of you all who are on here right now. Good. Hey, Anthony. Good. I'm glad you did take it off. Anthony, you always been on point, man. That's why you probably the best moderator that your channel. Cause really, that shit threw me for a whole loop, man. It took me a whole all the way off objective. Let's talk about our kids. First and foremost, let me say this. I am not going to say this to offend anyone. Everyone has, I guess you could say, a right to believe what they want to believe. But let me speak truth, no matter what you believe. First and foremost, sexual education should not be taught in the public schools because that is something that is sacred and should be discussed amongst parents and their children. When you start teaching sexual education in the school, you get sick motherfuckers like that dude there that just came up and talking about I rape little boys and girls. Man, I wish I would see you. I'm gonna just be real, not threatening or whatever. I'm gonna just keep it real. YouTube can block me, really shut this channel down behind this statement. But if I was to ever see this person right here, I would slap the fuck out of him from Jump Street. Have y'all, and me, let me show y'all something. When it comes to our children, if you hang around one of your homeboys, and your homeboy, y'all standing up and he sees a child, and your sick ass homeboy say some shit like, she gonna be bad when she get 18. I'm gonna turn around and look at him and say, what you said? If he said it again, I'm gonna be ready to do something aggressively, physically to him, but I'm gonna let him know. If you looking at her and you know she's not 18, why the fuck are you still looking at that child? Do y'all realize our children, man? We like to say that this is a lost generation. Well, guess what, y'all? If they lost, who lost them? Whose fault is it that they lost? If your children are lost, ain't it the motherfucking parents' fault? We had just had some sick ass individual. I mean, even if he was a bot or a troll, for him to carry the handle, I rape little boys, little girls, means that this individual is one of them individuals that gonna slip up under the radar of the FBI. Notice the last two mass shooters, the one that shot the little babies in Texas and the little white boy who shot the folks up there in Buffalo, guess what? The FBI was watching them. Why is it that every mass shooter in America, the last few months, last few years, were being watched by the FBI, but were allowed to perpetrate the crime that they committed? Let me look at some of y'all's comments. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Let me break off for 1 second. We're gonna keep this rolling. We're gonna keep it rolling as long as you all keep your comments coming. But at the same time, I need y'all to share these videos. Please hit the like, because as soon as you hit that like button and as soon as you share it, it negates the algorithms in a sense. And I'll explain algorithms again, but YouTube uses the algorithms to keep my channel, where even my subscribers, people who think they're subscribed to my channel, don't even get notifications. So y'all keep hitting that like button. Y'all give me 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes. Just give me a minute and a half. All right, I apologize for that, y'all. But once again, Anthony Watson, I really truly thank you for being the greatest moderator that a person can have. Because I'm starting to realize now, in just a few seconds that I went inside, that this person probably was a troll who was going to get me to go off on him, and then he was going to erase his comments, which would allow YouTube to think that I was basically threatening somebody. I'm glad you be on your job, brother Anthony, man. I love you, man. We got to figure out a place to meet up so we can sit down and talk. It's really because of people like you, Anthony, Lawrence Robinson, quite a few of you all that I continue to do this what I do. Um, uh, uh, Jackson Boy, even the people that's coming right now. If you're new to this channel, y'all buckle up because we Zach Owens, thank you. I mean, and a lot of y'all don't. I'm gonna be real. Times are hard. A lot of people don't have money or time to even watch these videos or to support this channel. But if you can, please support this channel, man. I really need $42 before midnight. I know I probably ain't gonna get it on this channel. I'm gonna have to end this show at 11:30 so I can get out here and hit the streets and do what I do, which I try not to do. But hell, fuck it. It is what it is. But anyway. Let's talk about what was we talking about before? I got off because that dude really pissed me off. And again, I thank you, brother Anthony, for being the moderator that you are, getting that piece of shit out of this room. I mean, off this conversation, because that is sick. I was just talking about the babies. Now again, let's go back and talk about the babies. We just witnessed what 20 children being murdered. Just the other day, we just witnessed 10 black people, 3 white people up there in Buffalo, New York. Going back to what you were talking about, Zach Owens, the Democrat, I'm trying to say this without seeming conspiratorial, but it seems awful funny that the police in that situation with them kids in Texas sat there for an hour and let that white boy take his time killing those kids. It's no coincidence that when you look at all your mass shootings here in America over the last 30 years, at least 8 out of 10 of those mass shootings were done by somebody who's on antidepressants. We as black people, we wonder why the police be killing us in our neighborhoods. Do y'all realize the police in America are one of the most heavily anti uh, heavily prescribed antidepressants group in America? What is the number one side effect? Hey, what's going on, Brother Lawrence? I was just talking about you, man, how you support this channel. What is the number one side effect of antidepressants? Because keep in mind, in both of these cases, everybody knew that the white boy up in Buffalo and the Mexican in Texas was fucking crazy. Your FBI were notified and were watching these little crazy motherfuckers, but they were able to get guns and go commit the heinous crimes that they did. And when it comes out in the end, in the wash, we find out that both of these motherfuckers was mentally ill and most likely on antidepressants. The number one side effect for antidepressants, y'all, when you watch these commercials that Fox, CNN, MSNBC, soon as they go to commercial break from their news broadcast, the first thing they show you is a pharmaceutical commercial, meaning that they get money from the pharmaceutical companies, which means that now they got to lie to you and tell you that these vaccines are safe. Because if they don't, they won't get their sponsorship. See what I mean? This is why this show here don't have no sponsor. They're going to let me say the things that I say. If I take people's money that really don't understand what I do, why I do it, they're going to tell me, well, you can't talk about the LGBTQRS, LMNOP, NWA, SWV, LSG people. You can't talk about them. Why the fuck not? They're indoctrinating our children in these so-called public schools. Disney Channel is one of the most prevalent pushers of this perversion. Man, if y'all let you all's kids watch Disney and the cartoons and stuff that the so-called children programming, you really don't have a clue. Because Disney is the biggest proliferator of this LGBT community agenda next to your public schools. So when I see somebody come up here with that, with what this dude here just came up here talking about irate kids and, oh man, really, if I could really know who this dude was I'm gonna just be real. Truth be told, I'll slap the fuck out of him. Just all principle. He might be a big old 6'3", 280-pound solid muscle former linebacker who could hit me in my face one time and fracture my skull. But guess what? That's what he would have to do. Because anybody that fucks with our children and our elderly deserves no respect. This is why they don't get no respect in the penitentiary. This is why they always being on the other end of what Homer talking. He raped little kid. Guess what? I hope you go to the prison, especially Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola, and get put in a cell with the biggest, motherfucking, strongest, stockiest homosexual in that motherfucking penitentiary. And he does to you what you just said you would do to these little kids every day for the rest of your life sentence. That's what you deserve. Anybody who takes advantage of our children. But guess what? We black people can't talk too much now because we killing 800,000 babies every year to abortion. Now the Democrats are looking at abortion as a fringe issue that they hopefully can use to win this upcoming election, when in reality, probably only about 3% of American people really give a fuck about abortion. MJ, what's good? Big little bro. This is why your boy Kev, this your boy Kev. Hey, all right, what's going on all the way from Atlanta? I'm just putting some stuff